Welcome everybody. Welcome to a little nice psych video. First of all, I want to give credit to Powell for this type of style of video. I'm pretty much going to be explaining to you my journey of trading and what I went through, why I started trading, the jobs that I worked, pretty much everything in this video. And I want you guys to know that not too long ago, I was working a job that I absolutely despised. And now I'm in a position where I have the ultimate freedom. I don't have any boss. I don't have anybody telling me what to do. I don't have a set salary, nothing like that. As you can see, I've got my car right here. This is my 2025 BMW M2. I got it brand new, 0 miles, and I am planning on potentially getting a cooler car very, very soon. I live out here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in a nice apartment. So I'm only 21 years old, and this is not a flex by no means. There are people that are doing way better than I am, but I want you guys to know that this type of lifestyle that I am living is hyper realistic, meaning that you can be living this type of lifestyle within a very short amount of time, like I did. I've acquired all of this in an extremely short amount of time, less than 2 years. So pretty much, I started trading when I was 19 years old, all right? So I'm gonna go back a little bit. My entire life, ever since I could, at the age of around 15 to 16, I started working jobs. Now, deep down, I've always known that I was not meant to be working a job. It was not for me. I've never enjoyed it. I've always known that there was something better for me and that everything that I was doing at these jobs were completely temporary, just for me to stack enough cash to figure out what I can do elsewhere. So knowing that, I've worked many, many jobs over the past couple of years, and I was getting a little bit older at this point. So I was turning 18, and I was kind of coming to the conclusion, like, I'm not going to go to college. I was in college for 2 years, actually. I dropped out at 18 because I mentally could not bear sitting in a classroom listening to a professor talk all day about things that I genuinely did not care about. And I knew deep down I was wasting my time and that I had to figure something out quick. So I dropped out of college at 18, and I instantly started to research what I could possibly do to make money. Now, I've always wanted to make money online. I've never wanted to go somewhere and make money. I've never wanted to exchange my time for money. So I did e-commerce. I did try options trading, but not to an extent that would even get me anywhere. It was just watching a couple YouTube videos and downloading Thinkorswim and thinking I was cool. So I did try e-commerce. I made a couple sales, but overall, I knew it wasn't for me. I honestly did not like it. I did not like having to really deal with customers and constantly have to be on top of the new best thing and have a lot of competition. So I knew that there was something out there that wasn't competitive, and deep down, I've always known it had something to do with trading because I've always been so intrigued. I've always been so interested in trading. This is something that I've always been watching YouTube videos on, and it's just always been in the back of my mind. I never knew that it was going to be my way out, but I'll explain that. So I was turning 19 and I got a new job at a car dealership. Now, it was cool. I was working at a nice dealership. I was working at BMW. See my car? I know I like BMW. And probably within the first week or two, I realized this is not something I ever wanted to do ever again in my entire life, but I knew I had to thug it out just for the time being. So knowing that I did not like this job at all and that there were bigger and better things for me, I then started to get into research. So I went online and I was like, I need to figure this out right now. There's no other option for me because I cannot be stuck in this dealership for the rest of my life. There were people there that started at my age at around 18 to 19 and were in the car business or is still in the car business at age 50 to 60, and they never left. And there's a saying that once you're in the car business, it kind of sucks you in and you don't really leave. Everybody kind of wanted me to move up in the higher rankings, such as like a salesman. I was not a salesman. I was something called a BMW genius, where I would help people learn the technology in the cars because I knew the car pretty well. So it was a very easy job for me. It was not like a mental burden, the job. It was just a mental burden in the fact that I was working a job. So the job wasn't hard, but within a couple of weeks of working that job, I was starting to get pretty upset because I knew that there was something bigger and better for me, and I was already getting older, right? I was 19 years old. I was like, I have to figure something out. I already have friends that are graduating college within the next year or two. I chose not to go to college, and I made my decision to never go to college, ever. So one day I was going to my friend's house. His name is Pasha, and we were kind of on the same path, like working jobs that we didn't like. and he was watching TJR. And I was really interested. I was like, okay, that's cool. I've seen TJR online because I've always been intrigued by like the trading space, and TJR is one of the first names that pop up in the trading space. So he was watching the trading transformation. So I started with the trading transformation, right? I got very, very into it. The first day I watched like half of his trading transformation, and it took me about a week to kind of understand the concepts that he was talking about. I then went to the ICT 2022 model, and I studied that religiously morning to night. And now fortunately at BMW, I could bring my laptop. So I was able to work on trading while working at BMW because I had a lot of free time. So fortunately, in that aspect, the job was good because I was making around $3,400 a month at this job. Obviously, nothing terrible, but nothing that would get me anywhere near where I wanted to be in life. Just enough to pay my car payment and food and some other little things. So all the money that I was making from that job, I was putting into trading. I was joining mentorships, I was buying eval accounts, and I was doing the whole scheme of trading, I should say. Fast forward a couple months of learning trading, I started to get the hang of it, and I started to understand, and I started to take proper winning trades on paper, okay? So after taking those winning trades on paper, I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy an eval account. So I bought an eval account, and then I knew that I wasn't really ready, and unfortunately I did blow that first account, but that typically happens to a lot of people. So I blew that account, and over some time, I ended up passing the account and getting my first payout. So I'm about 8 months into trading, I got my first payout. Still working at this job, by the way. Very unhappy with my life because I was still working a job, and I'm seeing everybody online not working a job. Like you see the whole unemployment, like you're 18, 19, 20, unemployed, Miami high rise, etc., nice car. I was like, I want that. Not necessarily in the fact that I wanted to show off and flash, I just wanted freedom. I've always loved freedom. I've always craved freedom. Freedom has been the most important thing to me. So it was either living on an island or getting rich. There's no in between for me. So after I got my first payout, it was kind of like a snowball effect from there. So 8 months goes by, got my first payout. And then after about 2 to 3 months, I hit my first 5-figure month in trading, which is a $10,000 month. It was like $11,000 to be exact. And I'm about a year into trading, and I was like, okay, this is working. I'm going to make this full commitment to trading, and I have no other choice but to make this work. So fast forward a couple more months, I'm rinsing payouts. I'm doing pretty well, 5 figures a month, every single month, and I'm saving up some good cash, and I am kind of like getting ready to leave my job. I'm like, okay, I'm like a year and 3 to 4 months in trading. I'm making good money, way more than I was making at BMW, enough to pretty much say goodbye. I don't need to work here anymore. So that's what I did. I quit my job at BMW from being absolutely miserable from not knowing anything to then rinsing very good money, doctor and lawyer salary money every single month. So I did that, and I quit my job. And when I quit my job, my trading went crazy, I should say. Started to make way more money than I was before. I guess you could say I locked in much harder, and the results were really showing. And it was just in such a short amount of time, a little over a year of trading, that I completely changed the whole trajectory of my life. And I completely changed my entire situation. Got my M2, I got my apartment, I got, a nice watch. I got things that I started to enjoy. And most importantly, I got freedom. I got freedom. I got out of the position that I prayed I didn't want to be in for a very long time. I got out of that. I proved to myself that I can do it. I found you could say I've discovered a very high win rate model that is extremely easy to understand, fortunately. I hated overcomplicated trading. Nobody hated complicated trading more than I did. Watching all these mentors pretty much talk about things that didn't make any sense, things that you don't need. And I pretty much left all those mentors, and I've come up with something, not really come up with something, it's all ICT concepts at the end of the day, but it's all of his concepts put into something that is extremely easy to understand and very, very high win rate, and happens every single day. I'm not gonna get too much or too in depth of my model right now, because this is kind of just a story video, but obviously the model is what has gotten me to where I am, because I wouldn't be where I am without how I trade. So yeah, I left BMW, I started to make very good money, and that is about 2 years into trading. After, I left BMW, and then I started to do pretty well. Let's say I'm kind of just giving like a general timeline. Now I'm about 2 years into trading. I'm a little over 2 years now, so this is quite recently. And I'm in a position now where I'm thinking of my next car. I'm thinking of places to travel to. I'm thinking of better places to live, etc. All because of this skill that I dedicated my entire life to for 1 year. That's all it took, was 1 year. And I couldn't be any more grateful for this skill. And I knew when I started trading that this was going to be it. because the feeling that I had of day trading compared to e-commerce and other things that I tried out was unlike anything. I knew that this was going to work and I didn't have any other option. I was like, I'm going to make this work because my back is against the wall and I don't have another future. I don't feel like I have another future anywhere else in the current moment at that time. Now, currently I'm working on other ventures of life, but in the moment I felt like I had absolutely nothing but to make this work, so I did. And sometimes when you have your back against the wall, you make things work. You have no choice but to make things work, and that's kind of the point you need to be at. If you really, really want to take this very seriously, you need to make the full commitment to this, and you cannot back down and you cannot give up. No matter how much money you blow, maybe you're just not trading the right strategy, maybe you're just not learning from the right person, maybe you're just doing something wrong that you just need to improve. Now, obviously I lost a lot in the beginning. I didn't really know exactly what I was doing. I would have to write down my mistakes and learn from my mistakes. So this was an entire journey of a lot of reflection. Trading taught me a lot about myself, a lot about how my emotions are when I lose, when I don't get the things that I want, when I don't get my way, and also when I win and when I see success. It's going to bring out the emotions of you're either a bragger when you win and you like to show off, or you like to keep your success quiet and keep on persevering. Now, I like to keep a lot of my success private, although you do see the cars, you do see the apartment, you do see the things. You know, I do show off a little bit of my lifestyle, but it did teach me a lot about myself. I'm not gonna lie. It taught me more about myself than anything I've ever done in my life. Now, fortunately for the job, it taught me that I did not want to ever work a job. I don't have that personality to work a job, and I know a lot of you guys watching don't either. And just know that if you are watching this video, you are on the right path, and this is your sign that this will work out for you. I promise you, you have to just push through like I did. There are many times where I got down to the lowest point in my life when I was working a job, blowing accounts, and spending my entire paycheck on accounts within days on eval accounts. I've gotten to that point countless of times. I can't even tell you how many times I got to that point. But guess what? I persevered. Look where I'm at now. You hear this from a lot of other people too. God will bring you down to the lowest point in your life before you get brought up and you hit your come up, I should say. Now, as far as my expectations in the beginning of day trading, I didn't really have any, because I didn't have the self-confidence to really think I can make it in day trading. And it's because I had a very low self-esteem growing up. And more than anything, I wanted to prove to myself that I can even do it. And I think that's why I made the commitment so hard in day trading, that I needed to prove to myself more than anybody around me. At the end of the day, it wasn't really about the money. It was more or less proving to myself and acquiring the freedom that I felt like I deserved. And as any human deserves, honestly. None of us are supposed to be caged up working a job. I think everybody should be out doing their own thing, etc. So my expectations, I didn't really have any in the beginning. I just had no other choice but to make it. So kind of going back to that back against the wall thing. And I struggled a lot with overtrading, revenge trading, not being able to handle a loss, and every single thing that you can think of, FOMO, every single psychological problem I suffered with times 10. A lot more than you guys do, I can almost guarantee. There are times where I would be taking a trade while at work, I would lose, and I would just get up, and I would almost get dizzy because of how furious I was and how almost scared I was that I was going to be stuck at this job because of me losing a trade or losing an account. And I would go to the bathroom and just look in the mirror and just wouldn't even recognize myself. I have gotten to the lowest points in trading you guys do not even understand. But the main thing is I persevered. I got out of it. I changed. I became better. And now I am enjoying the fruits of my labor in all of those hard times in the current moment. And there are many times where I questioned if this were right for me. Even though deep down I knew it was right for me, there were so many times that I wanted to quit trading. There are so many times I told my parents, because they knew what I was doing. I was like, guys, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to trade anymore. It's not for me. But then the next day I would go back into it, or the same night I would go back into it, knowing that this is for me. I just need to gain control of my emotions, in which I did. Obviously, journaling was probably the main thing that fixed my emotions. And I know I talked about that snowball effect, but that snowball effect is extremely real. You will notice that for 1 month, you might be doing bad, and then the next month completely changes everything because you just changed something very small. That could have been your strategy, that could have been a psychological thing, that could have been a risk management thing. It could have been something so small that was absolutely destroying your trading, and your life can flip in the matter of 1 second. I'm not gonna lie, my life went from living hell, not making anything at BMW, to making multi-5 figures a month, changing my life within a couple months. I went from down here to up here within a couple of months. That's how fast your life can change in trading, and this is why I do not want anybody watching this to give up. Please, please, please listen to me, do not give up. I promise you it is worth it, and I promise you this will change your life if you just stick with it and you are consistent and you have good habits. I can guarantee you that. And I would say one of the most important things is you have to realize the goal isn't to prove that you can win big once. It's to prove that you can show up every single day and stay consistent with this. And trading is not just about becoming profitable. It's about becoming that person who can handle being profitable. Because if you can't control yourself when you're losing, you're not going to be able to control yourself when you're winning. And if you are going through a hard time in trading, I want you to know that most of the problems that you have a lot to do with your external discipline and what you do outside of the charts, because what you do outside of the charts leaks into the charts. Do you eat clean? Do you pray to God? Do you go to the gym? Do you take care of yourself? Do you treat others with respect? You have to apply the same things in the chart, meaning you have to show the chart respect. You have to show yourself when you're trading respect, etc. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video of me explaining my journey, and I want you guys to know that you got this just as I had it, right? I was losing a lot. Now I'm technically winning a lot. So I promise you, you guys got this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.